And let's move on to the last director that was selected, and that's, if I pronounce it well, Sergio Leone. Okay, Sven, you watched the movie. It was the movie The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly with Clint Eastwood, if I'm right. Also, yeah. Okay, well, we're gonna watch a very short trailer first to give a bit of a taste of the movie.
Listen to the music.
Yeah, it's classic. I didn't see the movie, but the music I know. All right. Well, that gives a good idea. Think about this movie. Sven, your first word reaction.
Ooh, word.
Yeah, one.
Oh. Captivating.
All right. And from there on, you can take it.
It's a 177-minute movie. 177. And it's you think beforehand, whoa, that's so long, and but it's not. It's really like you get, nowadays you have slow roast with coffee. This is a slow movie. You're gonna really, it brings you in, and it's you will be in another world because it's the music, the landscapes, the shots, and the actors are bringing you without any problems to the end of the movie. And it's not like that there's a super interesting storyline, I have the feeling, or the theme of the movie is really deep. Well, there are some elements you can call symbolic. That he's the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's kind of you can recall it to the Bible in some way if you want. And who's winning and who's losing. I was not doing that, but I think you can have a lot of interpretations. Like everyone who's watching it can have another interpretation out of it. But what I really liked the most about it is that he's bringing you slowly to another world. You know that the climax, what they're building up, is coming at the end, but it's still exciting what's happening, and that they have a really, for the time, a really good way of editing this climax scene with music, and the
music is amazing.
Yeah, and the shots they choose for wide, close, and then several close-ups, changing from all the main characters in the scene, and they make, that's really high art what they did there for the time, and it still is. So that's for me really worth watching this and to watch it over again one time.
Yeah.
And I remember my grandfather was watching westerns when I was young. So you think beforehand it's a bit a cheesy genre, but what was really good about this movie that it got away really from out of this cheesiness. It could be also another movie. It could also be a mafia movie. It could be like the scene where it happened. was important to enjoy the movie, but it was not necessary. I think
that's true.
That was
I
really
think.
good.
I think actually movie makers like Spielberg, but also George Lucas with Star Wars, they took inspiration from Kurosawa, but also Sergio Leone. They named a lot when it comes to inspiration to the newer generation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see. Well, really quickly, because the way he introduced the main characters, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the way he did it was reminding me really quickly. Also, Claudia said it before I could say it. We watched it together. To my to the director that I was growing up with, Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
With the stills, with the big name titles, with their own underscore music.
He used a lot from this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, they have their own like a little sequence of introduction, and they all have their personalities to roll out in the movie. And
what scene you remember the most? That stands up the most for you?
Yeah, two, I have to say, and that's or no, three. The one in the desert where Clint Eastwood has to suffer and to suffer and to burn alive, to walk for 70 miles through the hot desert without any sun protection. So he's literally almost falling apart. And they take really long to let you feel and let you see the suffer. And with this close up of his head, where you see all the damage of the skin.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you got
some boiling in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other ones?
Where on the end, where they go to the graveyard, where the ugly is arriving the first time, and he's running like a wild pig through the graves, and the camera is going from left to right and going like 360, so you get really, you feel a bit this well, eureka feeling maybe of the ugly. I don't know what that's what I interpreted out of it, and that you get blind of gold sensation. And of course, the last one, the climax, where they have the shootout, the final shootout with the good, the bad, and the ugly. They build it up. Ennio Morricone on his best, and
spoiler alert, I guess.
Yeah. You know, by the way, that the famous pan flute that comes back a lot of times. That is the man that made that is the godfather of Anna.
Really?
Oh.
Borges Anvir. Yeah, he was there on her when she was baptized in church. Yeah.
In the music of Ennio Morricone, he was in the orchestra.
He's the pan flute artist that Ennio Morricone used a lot. Yeah, he's the most famous. He's the pan flute master, they call him. Yeah, he plays now all over the world. Before Corona happened with André Rieu even, and Hans Zimmer used him, and
Wow.
So we should have an interview with him once.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, he's pretty old, but
yeah. His experience with
very experience. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so that was my Sergio Leone baptize.
Nice.
Can you call it in English like this?
No, but Sven, we watched. Did we not watch together Once Upon a Time in the West?
I watched it once with my students in my student house, but then it was on a Sunday night and I was hangover, so I did not make it to the end. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
the rocky moment.
I remember that also was a great start. I remember the first 30 minutes of the movie was not spoken one word.
Yeah.
I found that.
Is that also him?
I found that great too. Yeah, I want to watch it again, but then I should not be hangovered. But
I have Claudia, maybe you noticed, I've watched both of them a long time ago, and I really liked both of them. But which movie of the two was the scene with that child on the dangling on the how do you call this in English?
It was Once Upon a Time in the West.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, it's well, I've chosen him because, well, I also thought he's one really accessible. Everybody knows spaghetti western, so I thought this is something you could easily get into. Also, I have to say, and that's interesting because Sven also said that he didn't have the feeling it was really an Italian movie.
No, that's true.
And that's, of course, because of the genre of Western that is associated with American movies, because, of course, that was a big topic for them. But what's really special about the Italian Western is that they, compared to the American Western, they try to not be as black and white in the story again. So it's about the narrative, but also, of course, how he's shooting and editing. That's another topic. I think we could make a whole recording about that. But the thing is that the brutality in the movie was also censored in the beginning, because it was again against the Hollywood conduct. How the movie, how and also because of the women, I think there's some. The women are not treated well in the movie. There are anyway nearly no women in this whole genre. They're not really playing a big role. When I watched it again now, I was thinking, this is today that's totally nearly not possible anymore to do this kind of movies, because in 177 minutes I think I saw 2 women and it was like 30 seconds. But I mean, so that's saying something. But I think there is the one thing that was really different was that these bad guys and this bad and good, what was really in John Ford and other American Western, that was not really happening in Sergio Leone. Everybody was in the end bad, like only wolves, bad people, and he was also having this humor, this really dark humor. It's in it that was different, and also the way he was making you suffer. The scene that Sven described in the desert. And here comes some Italian symbolic and Catholicism back, because Sven said, you can make some parallel to religion. So because you could say, he has to suffer, like Jesus. So he has to go through the desert, and he lets you suffer as well as a audience. You go through with him through the desert until the end. And I think that's something that American try to more idealize the thing of conquering the West in the Western movies. That's something that European or spaghetti Western did not do. Another thing, what's interesting, I think, is that probably you know that for what is it, a handful of dollar, fistful of, in it, I don't know in English.
Fistful of dollars, I think. No.
Well, it's a trilogy, The Good and the Bad and the Ugly is the third movie of a trilogy. It was I don't know in English, in Italian, they're always different, the titles. But that was the third movie. You had the first movie was also with Clint Eastwood. That was actually a copy of Akira Kurosawa's movie Yojimbo.
Okay.
That was, and Sergio Leone was actually, he also had to pay Akira Kurosawa because he nearly copied the script, literally. So, but what's interesting is that Akira Kurosawa was influenced by John Ford again, so by his Western. So they influenced each other.
Yeah.
And also the thing that Sven said about the close shots was actually influenced by Akira Kurosawa, but Akira Kurosawa was again also influenced by the Japanese manga style. And that's
in the end, originality doesn't exist. Everybody gets influenced by someone.
Exactly. And I mean, Tarantino just eclectically put everything together.
Yes, exactly. In the end, you can go all the way back to Greek mythology and...
Yeah.
Can you take a comparison or link between this movie and a way newer movie like There Will Be Blood from the Coen brothers, for instance?
Which
the
one
suffering, the loneliness with the priest.
was the one with the one that was shooting down everybody? Is it that one?
No, that's No Country for Old Men. This one was the one after, with the priest that became obsessive.
This really brutal film.
Yeah, very brutal, with a small child and the loneliness also in that oil field, and also in the West in a way.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think the legacy of Sergio Leone is actually seen a lot still, like because his kind of style of editing and also shooting is just so contemporary in the end. He's also really fast, and with the music, and although there is some really, it seems like to be slow in how the storyline is moving forward. In his cuts and what's happening with the music, he's really progressive. Like, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess there are a lot of movies that are influenced by him. Like,
exactly.
See, like everybody's copying, is taking some things out of other movies and doing his own kind of. Yeah. Yes.
So Sven, Sergio Leone for you a success? Was you gonna want to watch more of him?
Yeah, I would like to watch Once Upon a Time in the West. Definitely.
Did you watch that? Oh my god.
Well, I did partly watch it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to watch it now completely, and yeah, let's start with that. No. And you, boss, have you seen it?
No.
Have you seen it?
For me, it's also Clint Eastwood. You know, Clint Eastwood in his younger days. It's really also Mamma Mia. It's really.
He never really appealed to me, because Clint Eastwood. No, I never saw much of his movies because his face. Nah.
That's very interesting.
I think what Claudia was saying, the kind of the sarcasm. Did you describe it like that? The humor, the dark humor.
Yeah.
He's also acting like that, you know, with he's really like doing this, how can you describe it? Stoicisms.
But he's acting a bit apparently the same way that he directs now. If you hear Tom Hanks talking about how Clint Eastwood directs, he has the same vibe, like off you go now. Like it's some kind of weird thing. Yeah, only he can do that. Yeah.
But Bas, you didn't see any Western, or?
I saw. I think that I always thought I didn't like Westerns, so for that
reason, I thought the same.
Yeah,
really? So, because I watched all this like.
How come? I love Western.
I only watch good ones. Yeah.
As I said, I watched the cheesy Westerns, like the cheap budget things. But
which ones then?
Yeah, I don't even remember the name, but. This is different. This is a different level. This is not only a Western. There is, as I said, this could be also a different kind of movie.
Talking about Westerns, I watched, and that's where I did think like, okay, maybe I would like Westerns. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Oh yeah.
I really liked that.
Yeah, I think I've seen this. Also, which one was that from?
From who it is?
Yeah.
Director is George Roy Hill.
Oh, good.
I know. I think I haven't seen that.
I watched it also when I was young. I liked it.
I really liked it. Yeah, it's with Robert Redford and Paul Newman.
Ah, yeah. Oh yes.
Robert Redford still looks the same now. So, but
yeah. So for that matter, I'm interested also when I see this trailer. I think like, that looks interesting, especially after I've seen Butch Cassidy. I feel like okay, maybe I should see more of it, but it never came of it.
But also if you like,
good Saturday night movie for me. Like you
should,
yeah,
because that's where it's coming from.
Yeah. Good. So Sergio Leone, for you, a good tip, Sven.
Yes, definitely.
If you like movies and you want to know more and other opinions and get more inspiration for what to watch, then subscribe to this channel so we can get you more inspired.